Hi there, my name is Kendrick and welcome to Travel and Live Free. In this video, I'm going to talk about my last minute adventure going to see Perito Moreno Glacier in Argentina, and that video is going to come up right now. So the Perito Moreno Glacier is one of my big bucket lists of travel destination, and when I went there, I wanted to make sure I get to go and see it with my girlfriend. After traveling to El Chalten to hike Patagonia up Mount Fitzroy, we were driving back to El Calafate, which is the launching point for the Perito Moreno Glacier. Unfortunately for me, with 45 minutes left before our bus would depart, I just realized I forgot my jacket in my hostel. And I just bought this jacket and the bus is freezing and I definitely need this jacket. While panicked, I found myself a taxi driver that would take me back to our accommodation, and I managed to grab my jacket, and it was such a funny ride because the taxi driver started driving like a maniac, which I'm really grateful for because she got me back to my accommodation, get my jacket, back to the bus stop, just in time for me to board and make my way to El Calafate. Now, me forgetting my jacket would set the tone for how this day would go by. Once in a while, there would be a cell phone tower so that my girlfriend, who got a SIM card in Argentina, can get some internet access. I decided to casually look at my flight booking, and I thought that I would be flying out of El Calafate to go to Bariloche in 2 days. But after looking at my cell phone, turns out I was flying out the next day. Holy crap, this is horrible because that means if I want to see the Perito Moreno Glacier, I would have to go on that same day. The bad news is the Perito Moreno Glacier is due to close not too long after I arrived in El Calafate. On top of that, there is no more transportation going from El Calafate to the Perito Moreno Glacier. That means my only hope of ever seeing this bucket list dream destination of mine is to either rent a car from the El Calafate airport or get a taxi or join a tour. So while I was sitting down in the bus going to El Calafate, I started messaging a few tour companies, and unfortunately for me, none of them was operating at that time. This left me with two choices. First one is to rent a car, second one is to take the taxi. Now, I know taxis are expensive, so I thought maybe renting a car would be the best option. Luckily for me, the bus driver was really cool and he let me get off the airport as opposed to the central bus station in El Calafate. After we got off the bus, I immediately went to the car rental company, and unfortunately for me, the guy working there said to me that all cars have been sold out for that day. And man, that really sucks because I really wanted to see the Perito Moreno Glacier. Lucky for me, the guy working in the car rental place can speak good English, and he went with me to go to the taxi drivers to see if I can find a taxi driver that can take me to the Perito Moreno Glacier. After speaking with a taxi driver, he quoted us about 12,000 Argentine peso, which is about 120 US dollars. However, if you pay with cash that you exchange in the blue market, then it's closer to about 60 to 80 US dollars. Since I'm traveling with Karen, we're splitting the cost, so if we split it in half, it's roughly 30 to 40 US dollars, which is not too bad considering that the taxi driver was willing to drive an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back, and he was also willing to wait for us at the Perito Moreno Glacier while we go sightseeing. And he was also willing to drop off our luggage in our accommodation on our way to the Perito Moreno Glacier. So after rummaging through my wallet and Karen's wallet to see if we have enough money for this taxi ride, we barely just have enough cash to get us through to the next city where we can exchange more money. So we went ahead and agreed with his price, and off we went to go see the Perito Moreno Glacier. The drive was relatively pleasant and the taxi driver spoke really good English, so he was able to share some stories with me about his life in Argentina, which I thought was very interesting. I do love interacting with locals and hearing what their life is like growing up in Argentina. Before long, we made it to the Perito Moreno Glacier parking lot, where we quickly found our way to the platforms. And oh my god, it is the single best thing I've ever seen when I was in Argentina. In my opinion, during my trip in Argentina, my most favorite thing ever that I saw was the Perito Moreno Glacier. Alright, so we are continuing our adventure here at Perito Moreno. So it's me and Karen, she is right here. And we are looking for icebergs, or not icebergs, but the glacier to break off actually. So we saw a big one earlier, but it was a little bit far. So I'm hoping my camera catches it. But we're gonna continue on and see what we see. As far as the parking lot, you can already hear the crackling noises of the glacier, and I was just so excited that by the time I saw the glacier, I was blown away. It is as incredible as it looks on the pictures. I quickly whip out my camera and started taking pictures and making videos. Okay, so me and Karen are here in Perito Moreno Glacier. And shortly after, a big chunk of glacier broke off, and I was so excited. It was one of the coolest things I ever saw.
that was cool.
Unfortunately for me, I didn't capture the whole breaking off on my camera, which I'm a little bit choked about. And to be honest, I wish I had more time here to hang out here the whole day, maybe have a picnic, eat some food, while trying to capture the best video possible of the glacier breaking off. Unfortunately, Karen was feeling a little bit tired and cranky at this point because we were on the road now for quite some time and she was starving. So instead of waiting further, we decided to leave after roughly an hour of hanging out at the Perito Moreno Glacier. And I was really choked when we did this because shortly after we left the platform, we heard the loudest glacier breaking noise ever, and I was so choked. At this point, I just had to remind myself to have the gratitude that at least I got to see it, because at that point earlier in the day, there was a chance that I would not even see this place to begin with. But it also taught me an important lesson, which is I realized I love watching glaciers break off. And in the future, in my future trips, I would love to go to more destinations around the world where I can see glacier calving. Before long, we drove back to El Calafate and the taxi driver dropped us off in our accommodation. And unfortunately for me, I accidentally booked 2 nights in this accommodation and I paid with a credit card too, so they already charged me. And I also booked the night the day before, so unfortunately for me, I lost money. To make matters worse, when me and Karen went out to get dinner that night, the dinner was so lackluster that I had to find another place to get additional food because I was still starving. I ended up getting some French fries from this random Argentine fast food chain that I brought back in my hostel. And I still remember eating French fries in my underwear, and it was such a wonderful moment for some reason. Maybe because the dinner was so lackluster that eating this French fries just felt so satisfying. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments below, and don't forget to sign up to our Travel and Live Free newsletter, where you can get a 10-step cheat sheet on how to travel around the world. You'll also get the latest tips and strategies on how to save money on travel for Canadians, how to go on a around the world adventure travel for Canadians, and how to use travel to get more freedom in your life as a Canadian. You can sign up for the newsletter in the description below. Until next time, I'll see you then.